What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. And this time, we're going to be taking a look at 25th Hour, directed by Spike Lee, starring Edward Norton. 25th Hour tells us the story of Montgomery Brogan in his final day as a free man before being sent to prison on a drug bust. So, what are my thoughts on 25th Hour? I thought this movie was great. I thought Edward Norton in this movie was fantastic. I like the character of Monty Brogan. I love Edward Norton's portrayal. I like the interactions he has with all the cast members. I like the relationship he has with Rosario Dawson's character Natrielle, his girlfriend. I like how it's very cold he's very distant towards her in the beginning, but towards the end they start to get that spark back. I like the interactions he has with his two friends, played by Barry Pepper and Philip Seymour Hoffman. I thought Pepper and Hoffman did fantastic in this movie. There is this subplot that Hoffman's character has that doesn't really go anywhere and is kind of unnecessary. It's a subplot where he's kind of in love with one of his students, played by Anna Paquin, and it's something that didn't really need to be there, in my opinion. Something like that could have been said in dialogue and didn't have to show it to me. It's there and it doesn't really do anything, and it's kind of useless. And it kind of doesn't. It's useless and it doesn't really go nowhere. I would have taken it out. The movie still would have been the same. His character still would have been the same if you would have instead of showing us those scenes, you just said it in dialogue and just moved on from there. that's my personal opinion on that. But I do like the interactions with Hoffman and Pepper. There's this really good scene where Hoffman and Pepper are having a conversation about Monty and his drug bust while in Barry Pepper's house. While in the background we see the ruins of the World Trade Center. This movie, of course, came out a year after the 9/11 attacks. So there's a lot of references to 9/11 and Osama bin Laden and stuff like that. I love Norton's. I like the Norton scenes with Brian Cox. Brian Cox plays Norton's character's father. I thought they played really well off one another. Very good scenes. I also like the infamous fuck monologue in this movie, in which Norton just spews out hate, just rants about the five boroughs of New York. Great scene, very funny, and actually really well written too. Fuck monologue's probably one of the best monologues I've seen in a movie. It's good stuff. I think the production value of this movie is fantastic. Spike Lee did a great job behind the director's chair. I like the cinematography. It has this grounded and gritty look to it. The score to me the score is great by Terrence Blanchard. Visual aesthetic, this movie has a great visual style, great visual look. Despite that one story flaw with Hoffman's character, I don't really have a whole lot of bad things to say about this movie, because this movie has a very good pacing. It's tightly written. It's done by David Benioff, who is famous for doing his work on Game of Thrones. He wrote this script, which is actually based on his book. So, and I thought he did a good adaptation of the. I never read the book. I didn't even know that it was a book. I just knew that it was a movie. But he did a good job at adapting his own work into this thing. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say for the 25th Hour. Don't have a lot of flaws to say about this thing. This is a very tightly written drama. You're never bored watching it. The character interactions are all fantastic. Everyone in the cast works so good off one another. There's a lot of memorable scenes in this movie for me. You got the fuck monologue, then you got the end of the movie in which Norton kind of daydreams an alternate reality where he ends up being a free man, ends up marrying Natrielle, starting a family. It's kind of like, it's a good scene. It's a really good scene. It's actually, to me, the best way to close out this movie. You couldn't have done no other way. So yeah, there's a lot more to talk about with the 25th Hour, but those are just my broad general strokes about this movie. Overall, I thought this movie was great. This is officially going to be a Spike Lee movie that will be in my regular watching rotation, because I had a blast watching this thing. I like dramas, and I like crime dramas, and I love Edward Norton. So when you put two genres that I like, you take one of my favorite actors that I like, and you take a director who I'm starting to appreciate more, you get a damn good movie with the 25th Hour. So yeah, overall, my grade for 25th Hour is a solid 9 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. From an acting standpoint, it's fantastic. From a production standpoint, this movie looks great. From an entertainment value, I wanted to keep going because I was getting so involved in the story. It's so tightly written and it's just so well constructed. And I like how you have these flashback scenes intercut at certain points in the movie. You know, we see a flashback scene. We get the opening prologue where Brogan meets his dog Doyle. We get a scene where he first meets Matt Natriel, and we get a scene where he gets caught with the drug bust. And we also get a scene where during an interrogation scene where he's just being a wise ass. So I like how certain key flashback scenes are integrated in this movie to add some context to what's going on. I thought all that stuff was well done, furthering adding to that 9 out of 10. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts on 25th Hour. I'm sorry if this review is very disjointed. I'm trying to get this thing done as fast as I can. But yeah, 25th Hour, 9 out of 10. If you saw this movie, let me know down below. If you like or hate this movie, let me know down below. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.